Good after morning. Welcome into twitch.tv/Ice Cream Plus. My name is Graham Day and my mic is muted, so let me try that again. Good morning. Welcome into twitch.tv/Ice Cream Plus. My name is Graham Day and I am now not muted.
Fantastic.
I'll read it.
Be careful with that arm.
I know.
Be careful with that mic arm, my friend.
Oh, I can't wait till we get the Elgato ones put in. How are we all doing? Welcome into twitch.tv/Ice Cream Plus. Mute that laptop. My name is Graham Day. I'm joined by the man, as you can see on screen, that we call Bibby. I'll read, Bib.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag, wie geht's?
How are we doing this fine Thursday? I need to leave this alone because it's absolutely fine where it is.
That's what I just asked you when I said wie geht's. How you doing, mate?
Oh, is it?
You're supposed to say guten du, and I'll say ja, sehr gut, danke.
Can't speak German though, mate.
Oh, fuck's sake.
I cannot speak any other language but English.
German. Entschuldigung.
Is that pencil? No, it's excuse me, please, isn't it?
Excuse me, pencil is Kugelschreiber.
That's it.
Krankenwagen, Schmetterling.
Yeah.
Other aggressive German words are available. Do welcome yourselves in, though, into twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day. This is Bib. We are Ice Cream Uploads, and this, in true ice creamy fashion, is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast. If we do say so ourselves, we are bringing you your daily dose of news from the world of video games and beyond. We will bring you the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories that have happened in the last 24 hours-ish from the world of video games, and then give you our thoughts and impressions on those stories. If you're in the chat, please do give us your thoughts and impressions. And then give us your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. That's kind of how the whole thing works, because we are live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. But we also turn the live stream into a podcast, a video on YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play. There is lots of places where over 130,000 people have listened to our podcast on demand. So please do make sure that you do get involved on behalf of all those people. You beautiful people. Nice. Before we jump into things, let me remind you that we give prizes away because we do that. Yeah. Do you want something? You get a hat.
Yeah.
You get a hat. You spend a lot of money on gifted subs like Nietzsche does. You get a hat. Yeah, that's a joke. It's not really rigged. This is bullshit. Rigged. Not really, not today. So yeah, we do give prizes, ! Loot drop, if you want to know how you can bag yourself a prize every month. We gave a prize away on Tuesday this week. It was drawn from Monday's subscription numbers, but basically the first Monday of the month, we take a cut. Whoever is a subscriber at the cut-off point, which is usually 3 p.m. on the first Monday of the month, we take that list of people, we do a draw, and one person bags themselves a prize. This month, that prize was Mr. Tassim Anvia, or Asim Tanvia, noted industry leaker, beautiful supporter of the channel, and he now has himself a curved ICU baseball cap. Nice. Thank you very much.
Hello,
We've got Babinho and Pirate
faces.
with the back-to-back subs.
Woo!
Cheers, babe.
I want to try and see if we can get that hype train going off early doors, mate. And lo and behold, me and Pirate, good thinking. Started very nearly. We're so close away. We're so close.
What was yours, like 42 months? And then Pirate
yeah.
with the 29 months as well.
Yeah.
Bloody hell, mate.
Hello, Treacle. I love to see your faces. That's exactly what Pirate sounds like.
I've heard him. I know.
It's uncanny. I thought he was here.
I thought, yeah. I was about to look to the side and go, Pirate? Pirate, is that you?
Thank you for the primer.
Bits in it. Turn on Microsoft Edge Sync. Not now. Fuck off. I'm logged in.
Tito's telling Nietzsche to stop speaking goth. Fantastic. Oh, I think we've got the hype train going nice and early.
Hey.
On a Thursday with Naked Neil with 100 bitties.
Thank you very much, Neil.
Hero.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what? In that case, then I'll use my prime as well. I'll throw it down. Let's have it.
Thank you, Graham, for the primer.
Do you know, I think I've missed out on like 3 months of Prime sub. I keep telling people, make sure you use Prime.
Outrageous.
And I don't do it. So,
it is outrageous. 42 months.
I mean, you can tell, like, you've subbed for 42 months, and I was about 6-7 months ahead of you or something like that. And I'm now only on 35 months. That's how many months of it I've messed out on. Fuck! Okay.
Have we got extra lights on today? It feels that the set looks a little bit brighter today, and I'm not entirely sure why.
Bright lights and the big city.
I was fucking about with the lights over there. I want to try and get the strobes to work, so...
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I've just heard I've got 5 on it. Nietzsche's dropping 5 gifties.
What? Oh.
Absolute shagger behaviour in the chat.
I got 5 on it. And then I go and piss on it by just throwing down my prime. It took me
Throwing down the one.
Yeah. Let's go.
Legend. Thank you so much, mate. The hype train has well and truly left the station.
Let's go. Oh, nice. All the way up to level 3. Thank you very much, you beautiful people. Nietzsche gifting subs to Yuki, Big Laser Pen, Jumbo Ash, Darchichuk and talk shows unmuted. Enjoy your gifted tier 1 sub. Enjoy access to. I mean, I know a lot of people say the best emotes on Twitch, but literally ours are the best emotes.
They are. I mean,
because we've got a design team making that shit.
Exactly.
Pop.
We're cheat coding it, but you gives a fuck.
Yeah,
We're leading the race.
It's fine. They're all part of the team.
Absolutely.
So,
part of the ice cream team. They might not be
just flexing what we got.
Exactly.
Yeah. Speaking about flexing what we got, do keep your eyes on our social media channels because we have some stuff. I mean, we've been mentioning it all week. We're going to start putting it out today. We've got the thread just about written up. We are going to show you the thread. With
Fred Durst.
With the
The Fred Durst.
Flintstone, mate. So we have the thread written up that will show you the upgrades that we have coming to the studio. We have lights upgrades. We have cameras upgrades. We have mics upgrades. We have a brand new powerful rig to run the setup. The backgrounds will be changing. And we also have some big old TV stuff to show you too. So do feel free to keep your eyes on twitter.com/ice cream upload. Do you know what? Exclamation mark socials will give you all of the links in the chat. We will post some sneaks. You won't get to see the full thing, but we'll post some sneaks, and there's some pretty cool stuff in there. I imagine when some people see that stuff, they're going to be like,
fire, absolute flames.
So yeah, we'll post that out today. Do check that. Do check it. Check it. I need to close down Edge now because.
Let's stay.
You gonna stay?
See clearly?
I thought you said namaste.
No, namaste.
On this day, I see clearly. Okay, let me jump back through the chat. See, oh, there we go. I thought it was happening again. I thought we were getting more gifters and stuff. Thank you very much for the level 3 hype train, by the way.
Legends.
Neil, me, Nietzsche, Neil again. I didn't even see that. Neil gave out a gifty as well afterwards. Who got that one? Neil gave a gifted sub to Marella. Thank you very much, Neil. Appreciate that. Yeah, beautiful people.
Love
Pirate
it.
and Bib all kicking it off. Thank you very much. We appreciate that massively. Yes. Anyway, back in the room. Let's jump back through the comments. I will try, but actually I'm going to use it on this because my laptop just doesn't do that. It keeps scrolling. Nietzsche. Al Reitz, PR dues. Welcome in. Lakes in. Nice.
Nice thumbs up.
Speaking about up, Lake says up the ICU. Say up the ICU. Have you got your hat yet, Lake? Have you been and picked it up from the R kiosk or whatever it was called? Lake says FEA. I am so sick of this that they get away with everything. Well, we will go through that. That is our headline story of the day. JMK says, good morning, everyone. How we doing, dude? Good after morning, lovely people, says Tito. Taze Bads are here as well. Instinct the Rock says, hello, lads. Seen I was tagged. Hey. Nice. A little bit of beat. We wondered when you were going to show up. Exclamation mark famous. Piss off, ghost.
Piss off, ghost.
Dying.
Again.
I'll be down it for like the next few weeks. It's still not gone. Well, mods in a mood, hide, run. Bad chatbot. Nah, follow a bot. Nah, not real human. Neither are the two we're about to watch, but we do.
Fair.
Kiss me quick and call me Nick. Maybe I will. Bibby and Graham, deepfake video characters. My mind is blown. Yeah, we're not actually real.
No, we're not figments. We are holograms.
It's like you've seen, there was like some corgi thing playing eFootball last year. That's us.
That is us.
Yeah. Do you think people actually look this good? No. Wait, did someone mention a butterfly?
What?
What? Is that a reference to the sub? I don't know. I don't get it. We just brought one about you two. Man kann nicht sehr gut sprechen Sie Deutsch. Das ist nicht sehr gut. He basically said, Bibby is a penis.
You see, I can read German. I'm just playing. I'm playing silly. I'm very fluent.
Oh, sorry, I didn't say penis. He said massive penis.
Yeah, that's what I'm just about to correct you, Graham. Do you know what I mean?
Someone type exclamation mark English for Nietzsche in the chat. He clearly doesn't know the rules. God damn. Nietzsche. Target met. Thank you very much, Neil. Appreciate that.
Legends.
Nice level 3 hype train just to start off the final scoop of the week. You love to see. Oh, it's not even.
No,
it's not even
Thursday today, Graham.
Yeah. God damn. I heard a rumor you were upgrading the hosts to Dominic Diamond and Craig Charles too. You think that would be an upgrade? Upgrade. It would be an upgrade. But yeah, nah, me. I mean, they're decent. Don't get me wrong. Back in the day, especially, but ain't got nothing on this. No, still at work, and then after this to the gym, shops, and library, and then I will get my hat. He's a busy boy.
It is a jam-packed day, isn't it?
He works all hours,
Yeah.
grabs himself a nice pizza or something,
It was hot dog
travels
this
to
morning,
Poland,
wasn't it?
gets a couple of beers, comes back, and
See, he sends us that, and it's like 9:30 in the morning. Which obviously, is it 2 hours in front in Finland? I'm not too sure. It might nearly be dinner time. But either way, it's just it makes me. I've had nothing to eat yet. I am absolutely starving. I can't wait for dinner time.
by the way, when we said butterfly, it was when we were talking about Schmetterling and stuff
Oh,
like that.
okay.
Is that what Schmetterling is? I can't remember now. I'm pretty sure.
No idea.
I'm going to say yes. Nice. Krankenwagen was ambulance. Remember that one. So yes, welcome in. We are going to jump into the stories of the day. You might have seen Lake mentioning EA already, and that is relevant because EA's $10 million fine given to them in Holland has been overturned. So the article says EA's 10 million Dutch FIFA loot box fine overturned, penalties saved.
Fantastic tagline.
GG's Mr. Tom Phillips. So that's what we'll kick things off. We will then go through last night's PlayStation State of Play conference. There was a bunch of stuff announced in that, so we'll fly through that as article number 2. Then Xbox has no games.
Apparently.
I mean, Xbox, yeah, great, you've got Game Pass and stuff, but what's the point if you've got no games there? No good games. Anyway, apparently Microsoft was Metacritic's highest rated publisher in 2021 with the largest average score ever. Whew. So they've got no games, have they?
Well.
Exclamation mark Game Pass. Then we will wrap things up by confirming something that we did touch on earlier in the week. Gotham Knights is to launch in October 2022. And a little bit of PUBG skins news, thanks to some Dataminers. Miners. We'll wrap things up there. So kicking things off with our first news article of the day. Let me see what side of the screen we're on. We're on the nice side. Nice. So EA has successfully overturned a €10 million fine handed down in October 2020 by the Court of The Hague, which ruled FIFA Ultimate Team packs broke Dutch gambling law. The ruling slapped a €500,000 fine on EA for every week it did not comply with the court's demand that it pull FIFA packs from from its most recent games, up to a maximum overall fine of €10 million. Thing is though, like if it's like 500 grand a week, I bet they make that in a couple of hours.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, yeah, whatever, mate.
Well, every day at 6 p.m. when the new promo goes live.
It's like, oh no, we have lost our pocket change. So then at the time, EA said it would appeal the decision and did not pull FIFA packs from sale, signing itself up to incur the full €10 million penalty. Today, the Dutch Administrative Jurisdiction Division, the country's highest court, announced it had overruled the Hague Court's 2020 judgment and decided that EA had not broken the country's gambling laws after all. This new decision, it said, was based upon the fact that the obtaining and opening of packs was itself not an isolated game and part of a wider game of skill, which simply added an element of chance. The vast majority of packs are obtained by and used for game participation, the court ruled. The tradability of the packs on the black market is relative. The black market mainly focuses on trading complete accounts rather than individual packs or their contents. Since the packs are not a standalone game, they are not a game of chance and do not require a license. The publisher has therefore not violated the Games of Chance Act, and the Gaming Authority should therefore not have imposed a penalty payment on the publisher. The Administrative Jurisdiction Division has revoked the imposed penalty. This means the penalty payment is off the table. In a statement to Eurogamer today, EA welcomed the new ruling. Quote, today's decision confirms our belief that no aspect of FIFA or Ultimate Team can be considered gambling under Dutch law, an EA spokesperson told Eurogamer. At Electronic Arts, our approach to game design puts choice, fun, fairness and value first. Our priority has always been to make sure that our players in the Netherlands and across the world have a positive experience. In January 20... we can stop selling that. It goes on to talk about Belgium and stuff like that. But at least in Holland, the Dutch, basically Supreme Court, I can't remember the full name, it was a big old name, they have confirmed that according to the letter of the law... They ain't breaking the letter.
The absolute letter.
They aren't breaking any rules, and FIFA is not gambling. Thoughts, Pip?
So, obviously, this has just been ruled in the Netherlands. Okay, so where does the rest of the world sit with this then? Because is this... it feels like now it's a cut and dry case because whichever country now takes FIFA to potentially to court, they're just going to use the same basis to get out of it again. Like, I know that different countries have different laws and stuff like that. And this particular one, the Netherlands have taken EA to court with this stuff, and it's been overturned for whichever reason the judge deemed necessary at the time. But does this now set a precedent for the rest of the world and the rest of games that contain microtransactions? Like, what's the difference between this now and, say, I don't know, NBA, NHL, Madden, or whatever else has Ultimate Team? What's the premise for them being taken to court again now? Because obviously this is something that's been going on for such a long time. Where can they go from here to try and remove microtransactions out of games? If you've just taken it to like a Supreme Court and they've basically said, "Nah, you're all right. It's a game of chance. It's not really a game of chance. It's a game that contains these
chance
mechanics,
elements, as part of a wider function, but not as a standalone thing."
Yeah, because I mean that feels very cut and dry to me now, and it feels like they can't really move around it. Because if they do, then they're just going to use this as the jumping off point. This is their foundation now to go, yeah, we won this one. This is our argument going forward for everything.
It's one of those things. Like, what was it I was talking about? I was talking about Puppet Master the other day when we were talking about this sort of thing, and in the eyes of the law. Did anyone go and watch Puppet Master on Netflix, by the way? If you didn't, do it. Genuinely do it. I'm full on commission, by the way. Thank you very much. #adspawn Puppet Master. Jeez, nice. No, but there's parts of it within that where laws technically aren't being broken, but you know it's not right. And I feel that's still where we are with this. The interesting thing, though, is EA's statement.
Yeah.
Today's decision confirms our belief that no aspect of FIFA or FIFA Ultimate Team can be considered gambling. That's where you'd stop usually. However, they went under Dutch law, aka, okay, we've won this one. Let's not get too complacent because we know shit's happening elsewhere. It does obviously in the article mention about the fact that the EA have stopped selling FIFA points in Belgium following governmental pressure.
Yeah.
It is up for discussion in UK courts and stuff like that. I do feel like this is slimy in the fact that nobody's saying it's not the same as going into a bookies and going, can I put £5 on that horse? Because you are getting something back for your money. Like, whether you put money on a pack or whatever, you are still getting something back. So it is equivalent to what we were saying about like stickers the other day.
Yeah.
It is kind of like that. The difference is, it's an article that we've read in the past, is the fact that stickers still had value. In FIFA, you open up packs and get bronzes and silvers and a lot of golds. It's irrelevant. It's like, great, I literally have nothing of value there. So they are looking at the black and white letter of the law as like, okay, yeah, that's fine, that's legit. And it's the huge grey area though that for me. So EA are probably sat there going, dodged a bullet there. Yeah, they've looked at it as a full package, and it's like, yeah, we know that there's a distinct crime being committed in that little bit of it, but in the bigger picture, it's only an element. So
yeah. I know we're talking about it having digital value, and you haven't really got a real world value out of the cards that you end up opening in FIFA, but technically there's not, because it's a digital format. You can't. There is no way that you can get a physical version of the card, but they still do hold a value within the game, though, don't they? Whether or not it's in-game currency or whatever. Because if you open a pack that has the most informed player, if it's a player of the month card or a rule breaker or something like that, that's a highly sought after card. That person being in your team could be the difference between you finishing 20 out of 20 in Foot Champs or something like that. So they do still hold a value, and they definitely add something to your team. It's not as if you get in them and then they're just being put on the discard pile. I mean, obviously there is a lot of cards that could do that. They get put into SBCs or they get put straight onto the transfer market or something. But if you are opening packs, chances are you're trying to get the best player available in the game for you to be able to put into your team. So you are using, provided that they're decent enough and can go straight into your team. There is value in there. It's just not a real world value. And is that something that needs to be checked and brought up in the future when you're talking about digital assets? Because it's the same with NFTs. You're getting your digital certificate for it, but you don't technically own anything physical. So it is kind of the same thing. Apart from the NFT, you can transfer that into real world money if using cryptocurrency or whatever.
You can't get banned from that NFT. So say if you put 10 grand into FIFA and you get yourself prime icon moments across the park kind of thingy. I don't know if 10 grand's even enough for that, but it probably isn't. But let's say you did. You've got 10 grand's worth of assets there, which are only 12 months relevant. After 12 months, they lose their value anyway.
Yeah, of course.
But you've got 10 grand's worth of assets. If someone in your house, not even you, although it could be you for the argument's sake, someone in your house did something dodgy on your console, got you booted, you can't go, okay, well, I'm going to cash out then.
Yeah.
So it's never anything that you really own. You have value of something, but in a competitive landscape there. So it's money thrown in, not brought out, which then that probably adds arguments for and against it, both depending on how you break that down as to whether it is gambling or not, in terms of, well, you're paying for a service. You're just paying to play, just like you would pay to play something else. Play a game of pool. You put your money in, you have fun, and then you don't take anything away with you at the end of it. And it's that.
I can't imagine it being much like an MMO kind of thing. And I know I refer everything to that, but MMOs used to be back in the day. I imagine it's still the same now, just not heavily invested in the world like it used to be. But people used to create new email addresses and completely run up the XP on particular character to get to level cap, then sell the account. So whoever it is that has so much time on their hands might not have a job. That might be their job to grind this character for 12 hours a day. They might pay the monthly membership of £10 if they can get that character to level 80 in 1 month with a free email address, and they've only paid £10 for the subscription for the month. Absolute pure profit on that. They might be able to sell the account for £1,000 or something if it's a sought after account. It's got a particular set of armor, armor skills,
build up over a long career.
I can't see FIFA doing that. I know I've seen people on my timeline selling their FIFA accounts because they've got particular players. So that might be a profitable business for somebody, providing that they haven't put thousands of pounds into then sell the account for £400. But again, I do feel like there is it might be a digital value, but there is value when you're opening packs for a particular player that may be in your team for the remainder of the year. Like a lot of people end up loving the fact that they might end up bagging R9 and Icon R9 within the packs, and that is going to be their striker for 11 months. That's perfect for them. They don't have to look for a new striker or anything like that. But once you've got your team sorted out, you are technically set, unless you still want to continue opening packs just for the content or whatever it is if you're a content creator. But I mean, that's a completely different way of looking at it.
It's interesting, like you're talking about accounts and stuff there. Like they've put the vast majority of packs are obtained by and used for game participation, the court ruled, which I agree, because not everyone just opens packs upon packs upon packs. Most people are real people working to real world budgets kind of thing. That will, like, content creators do it for content. That is work kind of thing. People,
if you're a high profile content creator, not someone like myself who...
Yeah, but even still, within that, there is still some of that. You've done pack opening streams.
Oh yeah, of course I have. Yeah, not with real world money.
Yeah, just stuff that you've saved up
built
on SBCs and stuff like. But like content creators are opening packs for the sake of content. Most people are opening packs for game participation, as they say there. But a lot of that pack opening isn't necessarily. It's kind of par for the course. It's almost like grinding in Valhalla and stuff like that. You grind to get through stuff so you can do the good stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are grinding through packs to get teams to do the good stuff, i.e. play with a good team. Turns out you never really actually get... You never get to the good bit. The grass is always greener a little bit further. So they say that, but then they put the tradability of the packs on the black market is relative. The black market mainly focuses on trading complete accounts rather than individual packs or their contents. Since the packs are not a standalone game, they are not a game of chance and do not require a license. And that's the bit where I feel they've gone black and white. Boom. Okay, you can't sell your packs to someone else. You can't say, oh, you've got Prime Ronaldo, I'm going to sell that to you. Because obviously with price ranges and stuff put in a few years ago, all of that sort of stuff was gone. So yes, people have to sell you a full account, which is effectively the same sort of thing. If people charge accounts full of stuff and then sell it all, then yeah, okay, that is not possible. But let's look at what happened just last year. EA staff were selling players because it is that valuable. EA themselves have had problems with their own staff selling individual components because they know that is a valuable asset. Just because their systems stop that, that's where we get the grey area then, in terms of, yes, you can't sell individual players and you do have to sell an account, but that's looking at it too granular. That's ignoring the bigger picture of what it is and going, actually, it's part of a wider game, so therefore, But wider game, okay, career mode's fucking in FIFA, but that doesn't impact on FIFA Ultimate Team. Just because it's part of a bigger game, you're ignoring, and this is where, like, there was something in the chat, Tito says, it goes back to what I was saying yesterday. Trying to apply existing gambling laws under digital loot boxes won't work. It needs its own legislation. I still question why EA have applied gambling management tools to FIFA if they don't think it's gambling. I mean, it's not gambling. We're going to treat it like people can be addicted to it as if it was gambling, but it's not gambling, by the way. But I think that's it, though. And this is where we get the law stuff. They're looking at, actually, through the legal definition, it's actually part of a wider process. And it's just like, okay, you've lost me in verbal word salad to say that it's something that's on paper, from a legal standpoint.
Your phone is ringing.
That's probably my garage confirming my car booking tomorrow. We'll go back to it. On paper, that from a legal standpoint, that's probably... That's fine. But in actuality, people don't look at how FIFA sits in as a full package and where the packs and stuff break down. Kids will go, there's a reason content creators are opening packs, is because kids see that as a standalone part of the game. They can't do that themselves, not to that extent. And when they do, they're probably going to get shit players anyway, let's be honest. So it isn't part of a standalone game, but the way that the packs are always on the menu, new lightning round, it's always over their social media. You always see those assets that's got fucking 25 new player versions and stuff in it. They treat it as if it is a standalone game. So technically it isn't, but realistically it is, and that's where we're all now sat here going, the laws are shit. The laws have failed us there. To go back to the letter of the law,
letter of the law.
The letter of the law is wrong in that sort of sense.
That's what Tito's saying. He kind of puts a nail on the head there, doesn't he? Saying that digital boxes, that the existing laws won't work under the current loot box scenarios. Like, the law needs changing. Like, we've had so many law changes there's a different law change every year because something will change, whether or not it's technology or the way that we see things. The law changes every single year, every single day. So it's weird that after, what was the first one? 2009, maybe 2008. I'm not sure. Obviously, it wasn't the Champions League game before that, but it was just using your in-game currency. But that we've come this far and there's no one gone. Well, the people have gone, do you know what? This is a bit sus, and then nothing's really been changed. But again, we know smoking's really bad for you, but it's not illegal. But it makes the government a hell of a lot of money. We don't know how much money EA are potentially not backhanding, but maybe donating to a particular cause to people to not raise any eyebrows elsewhere. Like, that's just pure speculation, but I really don't know.
Tinfoil hats now.
Well, this is it. This is why you want to listen to this podcast. You know what I mean? We think outside the box, but also inside it.
Changing him to Bib Rogan, honestly.
Well, I'm not smoking any kind of reefer on here. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, jump back through the comments. It's 2:34. So Lake is 2 hours ahead. If you're correct, so you did, right, Lake. I'm just cooking up some bacon for a nice bacon sandwich, baby. Good lad. It does mean butterfly. I reckon you should say science in German. I did look at that a minute ago. It was like Wissenschaft or something like that. I didn't know that one. There you go. Nice. Tito says cough, bullshit, cough. Nietzsche says goth, bullshit, goth. Nice.
Standard.
It definitely puts profit before everything else. Fucking bullshit if they think FIFA offers value, says Tito. It sets a precedent in Holland, and EA will undoubtedly use it to defend any future legal rulings, but other courts will still consider it under their own law. Exactly. In Holland, you guys are getting all of the loot boxes now. There is nothing to stop them until something comes along to change that. So
it would have to be a law change. There's no way that they can take this back into court again under the same legislation because it just won't go anywhere. And something's got to give.
The law, the courts uphold the law, if the law changes, then the courts have to uphold according to the changes. But at the moment, all the courts are doing is uploading the law. So it's not the courts that are at fault, because we say when it comes down to the letter, they are delivering it to the letter. So the laws need to change to adapt to that, to allow the judges to do their decisions to a better standard. If memory serves me right, when Ultimate Team first came out, you could only use in-game currency to open packs, which is a fairer way for everyone, but then they're not going to make the big bucks. Exactly, talk shows. I think, well, we were talking about it the other day, there is no system. If there was a system where EA could move to and make as much money as they're making from loot boxes, but without having gambling elements, they would take it. But there isn't something out there that does that. So at the moment, they are just going, okay, we'll just keep forcing the kids to gamble until we're told to stop, because at the moment, profit.
On various different sports titles as well. This isn't just exclusive to FIFA.
Or just exclusive to EA either, yeah.
It's across the board.
PUBG, in my opinion, has worse loot boxes. At least FIFA has really bad drop rates. PUBG has really bad drop rates that require you to put multiple really bad drop rates together to get good guns, kind of thing. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. But anyway, I've had that conversation on PUBG streams many times. If you do want to hear that conversation, feel free to join me tomorrow. No, tomorrow. It's not Friday. On Saturday.
It's got Friday vibes today, hasn't it?
Absolutely. I think it's because I'm feeling a bit lurgy-ish. So for me, it's like, come on weekend, just willing my life away. 2008 is when it came out, says Talk Shows are muted. Nice. The big problem is most MPs have no idea what loot boxes are, or indeed the implications of how harmful they can be to children's behaviour and development.
They can't hide behind that.
The thing is, though, that's it. That's what I'm saying. When I'm saying they're looking at... actually, it's just a standalone element, and the letter of the law, that is them looking at it and going, well, on paper, this looks all fine. But you go back to... there's been... I've mentioned it a few times. It was either High Score or The Toys That Made Us. I think it was High Score. And it mentioned a few games from history and stuff like that, and things like Grand Theft Autos and so on. And when they go to, and probably incorrect terminology for American governments, I'm going to say when they're discussing that on Capitol Hill, I don't know if that's the right place, in court, the big legal showcase where everyone's looking at it kind of thing, you can see these politicians and lawmaker people that are clearly intelligent people that know their shit inside out. And video games are not their shit. Yeah. And it's like, okay, stay in your place, stay in your lane. I understand what you're trying to say, but you're talking about things that you do not understand at all. And that is this. They're talking about things that they understand from a legal perspective, but there is multiple perspectives in this, and they just don't understand all of them. And that's the issue for me.
Yeah, that is obviously a massive issue, but they need to know what they need to know. If they don't know about the loot boxes, is it a need-to-know basis for them? Because either way, even if they don't know about them, someone's still winning somewhere. Like, are they just confident that they're going to come up against someone who really doesn't know what they're talking about?
See, I think it is something they need to know, though. But that's the problem is the laws are so out of touch that the letter says they don't need to know it. We don't need you to have that much knowledge about loot boxes and so on. They are working to their itinerary, and their itinerary is, okay, these are the laws, and this is the thing. This is how it works. And it's like, yeah, okay. At one point in time, people turned on the lights by setting fire to a stick. Times changed, so things need to change now. Gaming and gambling is much different from when it was, okay, well, let's wrap a string around a thing and pull it. Yeah.
So I mean, if you had a prosecutor or a defense in court arguing this toss, right, and the prosecutor was super clued up about loot boxes, knew everything there was to know about them, how they work, how they potentially can manipulate people, how people have lost their entire lives to these mechanics within the game because they are a form of gambling. But the defender doesn't know anything about loot boxes but knows the law inside out. Why would it matter if the prosecutor knows the thing within there? Because all they need to know is how the law is for that particular person, regardless of what they say. That's a slightly different
thing, though. That's like being in court. I'm talking about like the bits where they're talking about essentially the state of play, which is a nice segue, actually. So not a legal court case of it. Did EA do bad? But one of those like sort of should gambling be investigated differently?
Definitely. Well, that's where it comes to the forefront. If it did go to court, like obviously this did, and it got overturned, it's been picked up now because they've managed to get away with paying 10 million euros for this particular thing. That's why it's now about articles written about it. That's why we're now talking about it. It's back in the news again. Will someone somewhere, whoever it is that's writing the law, again, this is where Bibby comes in really, really thick. He has no idea what the fuck's going on. But whoever it is, the lawmakers for each person in the land, do they start to sit up and take notice and go, actually, there was this thing that was going on in the Netherlands where it doesn't seem right, so we're going to investigate it from our standpoint and potentially change the laws about it? Like, are people hoping that that's the case? Like we mentioned the other day with a woman saying that she wanted to take him to court for £10 million damages for something. Yeah, for something that she didn't actually spend any money on, but she thinks she was got a finder's fee of $10 million. Like
£5 million. I'll take £5 million because we spent 48 quid. Actually, I think you're fine.
So that's it. Again, it's one of those things like. You don't necessarily need to know that what happened is bad. It's just, can you prove it? Is there a law behind it so you can put your argument forward and potentially win it?
I feel like I feel like it's just a matter of time.
Yeah,
I think it will be illegal because Belgium have looked at it and gone, okay, well that's bullshit. Some courts in Holland or the Netherlands, the Dutch courts have gone, yeah, this is bullshit. Whereas the Dutch Supreme Court has gone, but it's not illegal.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. It's not illegal. Like.
And I think that's the subtle subtext here is EA breaking the law? It's what we always come back to. No, they are not yet. And I think that will change. Like even the article that we had on Tuesday talked about how lots of research has gone in to say that psychologically and systematically, loot boxes are the same as gambling. They are the same. They create the same chemical reactions in people. They create the same behaviors. They have the same way of rewarding patterns and stuff in people's behavior, which is just the same as gambling. So I think once all of that stuff's put together and enough has been put forward, I think it will change. I think the only reason it hasn't changed yet is because of the fucking state of the world that we're in right now with pandemics and Brexit and fucking now wars and stuff. This was on the cusp of being a court conversation. There just happened to be bigger, more pressing conversations. So I think this will happen. Just
when?
Yeah, exactly. For now, it's not illegal. So it's a case of we have to hope and trust that the people that can make money off us do it in the right way.
It's cat and mouse, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it always. Can you trust? It's like the whole Activision sort of thing. Like the reason unions exist is because you were trusted to look after people, but you looked after your interests first, and that's the same thing with we're entrusting that you're not putting bad content in the games that will influence us negatively, and when we see that you're not doing that, eventually we will put laws and stuff in place. It's just a long old fucking process. So I think it will come in and it will be illegal, but for now, it is what it is.
Well, considering it's been going on for so long now, you think that people would start to sit up and take notice, but we're still at a point in 2022 where it's a Wild West, essentially.
People have taken notice. It has been into court, and there are conversations in government. There are governmental conversations. MPs are having deep conversations on this. It's just it's such a slow moving process. Like I say, with every and with the government that we have particularly.
Well, we've got a first time chatter in with Silencer saying Apex have a good system for loot boxes though, as once you pull something you can't get it again, which means there is technically a max value you can spend on the game to get it all. It may be a crazy amount, but that's no different from getting the ultimate editions of games. That's what used to happen in PES.
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day when Bateson dropped in. So Bateson, to give an example, they used to have agents, which are essentially the packs in FIFA, and the agent, you'd get a Champions League agent that'd have 50 players in, and some of those players were duff, some were okay, some were better, and some were great, and you'd basically want the 11 Champions League black ball players kind of thing, the special edition players, and if you did 50 spins of this agent, or open these 50 packs to give it FIFA terms, you would get every player. Once one was out of the mix, you had a 1 in 47 chance. Another 1 in 46, and so on. So that's how it went. However, that changed to match the FIFA way of doing things, which was, okay, duplicates are fine.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there's positives and negatives in both. If you max out that pack system from a commercial standpoint, it's negative because your revenue is finite, whereas revenue in the endless packs way is infinite. You can make money on money for days, weeks, months, and years, just if they don't get that one player that they're after. So it's balance.
You see what Tito's saying there? They'll change their methods, though. They'll sell Messi, Ronaldo, Legends for £20 each instead of packing it in. I mean, I wouldn't be object to that because it's a store window. You technically have a store window. Then, do you want this? Do you want this player? I know you're paying for a digital asset, but you want this player, then you can come and buy that player. That's entirely up to you. Then you are paying just £20 for that player. I know it says just £20, like £20 is absolutely nothing, but if you want that particular player, you may end up spending. You may used to spend £70 with a particular chance of being able to get that player, but you can go in. Here's a storefront. You can buy that player. It'll be included into your squad. That's not particularly my favourite way of being able to play a particular game. I mean, when it comes to buying players, it's Master League, baby. You know what I mean? It's not the Ultimate Team style or the My Club style, but
it's interesting though because it's still not quite right. Because you are putting gameplay mechanics behind a paywall specifically, which is not really a good way of delivering a game. You want cosmetics behind it. You want new kits, you want new stadiums, you want new badges, you want a new haircut. If you want the new version of Ronaldo, which changes him to look like 17-year-old with his blonde highlights or whatever, then fine. But the stats stay the same. That's how it would usually work. Whereas that would be a different element, and I think that's where the difficulty is. If there was a clear-cut way of doing that for EA, where they could go.
I can't, it's impossible. Like we mentioned it the other day, how do we go back to playing games like we did on PlayStation 2 where you can play online, but you don't necessarily have to pay to be able to, but it's not pay to win, as Silas just said then. A lot of the time when it's stuff like this, it's pay to win. Do you have more money than I do? Do you have more packs to be able to rip open? How do we get back to a place where the game would be just as enjoyable as it is now, but with everything stripped back? And I genuinely, you can't.
It probably is ways, but nobody's thought of it yet. And just in the same way that I use Battle Royale and season passes and battle passes and stuff as the up to date example.
Yeah,
people would just play multiplayer with no content progression really, apart from we'd get season passes back then. Was okay, get the COD season pass, you will get 4 new maps after 3 months, which your mates didn't pay for, so you wouldn't play them anyway. Jobs are good and nice, great. But like that there, what Tito's put, 1 week you'll have a 93 rated player, the next a 95. So it's not only pay to win, it's pay to win for now. So you spend that 20 quid and get prime moments, Barcelona Messi kind of thing. Yeah, 93 rated. Pow! But then the release, actually, we've got Champions League Glory Nights Messi, which is a 95 rated. So I've just spent 20 quid. Do I have to spend another 20 quid to be competitive?
It's not gambling, though, and that's where this whole grey area is. People are saying that it's all part of the gambling stuff.
Yeah.
You're removing the word gambling out of there because you are physically... Well,
that's definitely not gambling. That's based on skill, but you're changing one problem with another one. That's where you got to pay to win then.
I absolutely agree, but the whole conversation about trying to look after kids because they are technically gambling underage, that's what this whole premise is absolutely about. And if you remove that element where they are technically gambling and you are going to buy a digital asset for your team, there's no gambling conversation.
No, that's not gambling.
But
it's just swapping a problem for a problem.
Exactly.
Kind of thing,
But you can't then, no one else can shoe on but think of the kids. They're gambling underage, and that's what the whole premise of this surprise mechanics loot box is.
There is still a conversation about kids, though. It's just not a gambling point.
Yeah.
It's more of the should they have to keep paying to playing? Because pay to win is like, well, your kid's never really going to enjoy the game because they're always a step behind.
Yeah.
Which is obviously a completely different problem. I don't think that is the solution. I think
it's a quick one though.
Yeah, it's a quick, dirty one, and I hope that would be the downfall. Like, if a company goes, actually, I feel like this is the solution to my gambling problems. I want to continue earning millions, so I'm going to keep exploiting my audience. I would hope that the audience goes, do you know what, fuck this, it's not even worth it. And that's where I hope either eFootball or UFL or Goals.
Yeah, Goals.
Yeah.
Z.
So one of those, I hope one of those then comes in and goes, you know what, fuck that, you don't need to keep spending every 20 quid every 2 weeks to get a new version of your player to keep competitive. We'll just make it so that you can play against each other and the best player wins. Nice.
Well, that'd be fantastic if the games are decent. We have no idea what these games look like. They're giving it the big talk so far, which is absolutely fine. You're in a market where you need to be loud. But let's see exactly what it is on the pitch, because ultimately, if your gameplay's shit, no one's going to play it.
Exactly. Like Ad says, though, it'll either be make it 18 plus or have no microtransactions at all. I think FIFA would probably go 18 plus right now. That's the easiest solution. Get rid of FIFA, make it EA Sports FC, and it's a game that has microtransactions. And if it needs to be 18 plus, then that's fine, because most of the people that will throw big money down will be 18 plus anyway. So whatever. And then mums and dads and stuff that have been buying the kids FIFA for years anyway will just go, do you know what, fuck it, yeah, whatever. And then it's on the parents then. It's not on the brands. So
yeah, like we were saying before about the parents have been made more aware about what their kids are playing. I do still think that's a massive problem, and that was kind of my basis for the argument on Tuesday, whenever it was. Yeah, it was Tuesday. Like, I know you shouldn't have to monitor absolutely everything that your kids are doing. They still need to have their own privacy or whatever. But when it comes to tech and stuff, you kind of need to be on top of it. Like, I don't want to be judgy. I am probably going to be one of these parents myself, but I'm in the tech world. Do you know what I mean? I know what the crack is. I'm not one of the people who don't really necessarily know what tech is out there or whatever, but I think just shoving a tablet underneath your kid's face and then expecting them not to be able to do stuff wrong originally, and the only way that you find out is when you got £300 taken out your bank account because I bought 7,000 coins on Minions or whatever. Like, that's the worst case scenario for a parent, to know that you've just lost £300 to a microtransaction game. That would be absolutely soul destroying. But realistically, you shouldn't be knowing what your kids are doing on that app in the first place.
If you're giving them a tablet and just going, do you know what? Don't make me bankrupt.
Yeah.
How about either supervise them or get rid of those functions? As someone was saying the other day, parental controls exist. I think it was Timeless. Parental controls exist.
A lot of them are fingerprint stuff now, so they can't, even though they might know the password, the only way that you have digital money mainly taken from your account is through fingerprint scanner. That's fantastic. That's the best way forward, because the kids can't get into that
until you cut your finger and then you fuck.
Or wait for you to be in bed and then just take your thumb out from underneath the quilt. But yeah, like stuff like that, that's a step forward in my opinion, and I think that's great. And again, I don't want to be a person who's judging parents' styles or anything like that, but if they're getting free reign to do whatever they want, then sometimes you have to expect the worst. And having £300 taken from your account is probably the worst feeling if you haven't got a pot to piss in the first place.
Tito says it will never be 18 plus, and EA won't drop a cash cow. They just change tack. I still think that 18 plus is not off the table. Once they get rid of FIFA, FIFA is an issue. Is the issue, because it's football for all. I think that something along those lines is their motto. And if you make it 18 plus, it's not football for all, which goes against their core mantra. Get rid of FIFA, become EA Sports FC, and then you make it 18 plus. Does putting 18 plus on a game stop a lot of kids playing Call of Duty?
No.
Grand Theft Auto.
Just get people to go in for them.
Exactly. And the parents will just go, it's fine. It's my decision. And I will openly say I do that, not with games like Grand Theft Auto and things like that, but I've allowed Chloe to play PUBG. There are games that I wouldn't, but I know that game inside out. So I have vetted that game and feel like, okay, well, that for me, she's not sensitive enough that one person dropping to the floor and being there dead with a box is different from guns just appearing in flashes and stuff. It's kind of the same thing for us, for her. So I made the decision with that. Some things in GTA I wouldn't want her to see, so she doesn't play GTA. However, some parents will go, it's just football, but they won't be thinking about it's football and gambling and stuff. And that's kind of the thing there. So I think EA will go, well, it works for everyone else, it'll work for us, and I think it probably would do as well. Where do we get to? It's pay to win, which is never good for a game, in my opinion, says Silencer. Agreed. Wish this was in pubbers. What, being paid to win?
Yeah.
Or as in the ability to buy items. Yeah, that would be much better than fecking contraband crates. I still prefer my club over foot. Team strength alone is a win.
Massive dub.
Yeah, I agree. Most games are now, the lines are blurry. EA need to add team strength. EA already do it, G. Prime icons, the best in the game. Now there are prime icon moments, usurping them. Yep, and soon we'll get prime icon moments seconds. So it's like, you're thinking about Maradona from the whole Hand of God moment. Yeah, what about the split second when it touches his hand? Yeah, there you go, that one. Yeah. So UFL has no microtransactions. It's like MLO. You can earn in-game currency. You probably have microtransactions just for cosmetics, but it might play shit. So I like the idea. I like the talk. I like the concept. But we'll see.
Let's not get it twisted. Every single one of us that are in this chat will be playing that game.
Yeah, everyone, we're going to give it a try. Absolutely. And hopefully it's great.
Absolutely.
But we'll see.
The more the merrier.
It's free to play. It will have. It will 100% of microtransactions. I suspect only cosmetics, but we don't know yet. Yeah, exactly. They already confirmed that everything is earned. There's no packs in the game. It's just a transfer market. Unless there's microtransactions for their in-game currency. 18 plus, add blood, and proper injuries, finally. what red card soccer?
Yeah, grabbing the bollocks. But the thing is, UFL will still have microtransactions of sort. It may not just be pay-to-win mechanics where you're able to open packs or stuff, but they are not making this game for free. They will not be having their staff working for free. So expect any free-to-play game has microtransactions in it somewhere, whether or not it's cosmetic. Money. Yeah. It might be a battle pass system, may cost you £10 a month or whatever, but still they will have stuff in the game where you need to. Well, where if you want to, you can spend money.
I mean, and it works. The issues are though, we know free to play battle pass games with cosmetics works because one of the most profitable games in the world is Fortnite. Mm-hmm. And that doesn't have loot boxes anymore. It hasn't had them for 3 years. They ditched it in favour of a better content stream. They did have the luxury of being phenomenally embedded into every platform at that point in time. Obviously, iOS rip. But UFL has the ability to do that. But if everyone could just be Fortnite for football, someone would have done it already.
Absolutely.
So it's easy enough to say that they will do that. Whether they make enough money to be competitive, they may just make enough money to sustain, which means that that's great for 1 or 2 years, but then people go, okay, what's next? Yeah. And it's like, get bigger. Sign Ronaldo on the front cover. We're not really bothered about your star signings, but sign Ronaldo. And that's it. That's where marketing and stuff, football battle royale. Yes.
Well, I mean, even I know they've been signing the players. Like they've got, like UFL have got 6 players, I think. But do they have the FIFA Pro license? Do they have access to the other players?
I didn't know. As far as I was aware, I haven't seen any mention of FIFA Pro license.
Yeah.
Which would mean that you are playing. So, like, you'd get Lukaku FC or whatever, and then you'd get Lukaku with a rabid Duckham rather than David Beckham or a Von Mistelrooy.
Raverts.
Yeah, exactly.
Raverts and
Team up
Turner.
Warner.
Phil Turner up front.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be that sort of thing. So, yeah.
And a lot of jets at that.
They have a few players that weren't announced. Yeah, but a few players that weren't announced gives them one team.
Yeah. Suppose.
They've got some guy called De Bruyne. Don't know who he is. Fucker. Well, I'd rather not know who he is.
2 goals.
In-game. In-game?
Yeah. Oh, I think he's just trying to. He fired his load too early. He pressed enter too early.
Okay. Yeah. But they've announced 6 or whatever it is. If they had a few more, if they doubled that, that's a squad and a sub. Yeah. So. Get out of here. Okay. So do you know what? Yeah. Bibby is gone. There's just me left. That is the current state of play. Which is a nice segue into our next news article.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
That's why
I was too busy looking at the chat on that screen, just looking into the camera, waiting for the button.
Anytime soon. So, yeah, we are going to now start talking about everything that was discussed in last night's State of Play conference. For anyone that doesn't know what State of Play is, that is PlayStation's showpiece conference, let's put it that way. It's not the big headliner all the time. Sometimes you get big state of plays as the kind of things that you would usually get at PSX, the PlayStation Experience, but obviously throughout the pandemic we tend to get smaller 20-30 minute state of plays, which is exactly what we got yesterday. This one is written by Luke Plunkett at Kotaku. It says, here's everything shown at today's PlayStation State of Play. Some Final Fantasy, which we said yesterday, by the way, some Japanese games, which we also said yesterday, and a lot of dinosaurs, which we didn't say anything about yesterday. So we nailed some of the predictions. Sony held one of its State of Play presentations earlier today, last night, and if you weren't around to catch it live or were just or were and just want a recap, we've got you covered. It was a fairly short event running at around 20 minutes, but without interviews or presentations in between games. It was a pretty solid wall-to-wall showcase of some stuff we knew was coming, some expansions to games we've already got, and even a few new announcements. Here's everything that was shown off, big and small. So first up, we have Exoprimal. Bibi is playing a little bit of it on screen for you right now. It says, while most of the show was focused on recaps and smaller titles, we did get one proper announcement. Exoprimal, a game from Capcom that looks like someone in management's favourite games of the last 5 years were Overwatch and Earth Defense Force. It's coming both to PS4 and PS5. What did you think then, Mr. Bibb? So you're a man that has some affinity with Capcom games.
Mm-hmm.
You've heard of one or two of them, I imagine. What did you think of Exo Primal?
It doesn't look like my kind of game at all. It looks like someone has just written like as I said there, someone's written down all of their favorite things that they like, and they've just tried to put them into like we won't use zombies for this one because it's been done to death. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll drop in a load of dinosaurs instead.
Nice. Yeah.
So it doesn't look great to me. I mean, graphically it looks okay, but in terms of a game that I'm excited to play, no.
It's like that Tyrannosaurus there chewing things up. That's supposed to be your big, like, fucking, like, that's it. That's the end moment. Oh my God!
Yeah.
But it just looked a little bit, and this is not negative on TV programs, it looked a little bit Nickelodeon. It didn't really look like fucking blockbuster, state of play announcement kind of thing. So, like, we've been talking about we want dinosaurs from Capcom. Dino Crisis. This ain't it, Chief. It's not for me. I mean, that's what the big headline thing was. It's
bit of a kick in the teeth, if I'm being honest. But what can we say? Hopefully, at some point in the very near 10-year future, we might get a Dino Crisis remake and actually have a game with dinosaurs that looks really good. That has a little bit of substance behind, because that for me just looks like another city shooter, third person. There's a load of hordes coming.
I keep getting like spammed with shit adverts on Facebook, and I don't even know what it is, but it's like one of those games where you just get thousands of things running at you, and you've just got to like find.
I get them on Instagram all the time when I'm going through stories. Yeah.
That shit, and that's what I saw when I saw all these dinosaurs. It's just like one of those fucking things, like almost like movement sims where if you send a ball down the middle, how do they all fall out of the way and shit? And that's what that looked like to me. It's not for me. I am interested to know. He's not here, I don't think, because he's not been in the chat. But Enix, who is a big this whole conference is engineered towards Japanese publishers, Japanese titles. I would be interested to know what someone that has a bit more of an interest in Japanese titles thinks of that title. I am not the target audience, so me saying it's shit or is not for me is kind of self-explanatory. So yeah, anyone else, if you do have differing opinions, do let us know your thoughts. Talk Shows on Mute says, I don't need another third-person shooter. Most have failed over the last few years. Yeah.
It just looks like Alien Fireteam Elite, but just in a city.
Dinosaur Fireteam Elite. Nice. Okay, next up we have the Diofield Chronicle. It's not Final Fantasy Tactics. It's not Fire Emblem either, but it's close. There you go. So another Teamfight Tactics, but not Teamfight Tactics / stuff game. What's the name of these? I can't remember what they're called. This genre of game. Connor told me once. Like, is it like? No, I can't remember. Can't remember the name of it. Outriders, Anthem. Yeah. Disappointing both. Anthem particular. Next up, we have Valkyrie Elysium. So the good news, it's a new Valkyrie profile game. The bad news, it's more action than RPG. It also looks like it was released 9 years ago.
Yeah. I'm getting massive Final Fantasy Chaos something. Oh my God. It's gone.
See, hack and slashy sort of stuff like this just doesn't appeal to me. It
Crisis Core, that's it.
It could be Final Fantasy. It could be the original God of War trilogy kind of thing. Not interested.
Yeah, this is Final Fantasy Crisis Core all over. It genuinely looks exactly the same.
So we will keep.
But that was
going.
a good game. That was a good game
on
the PSP.
Speaking of good games, Returnal Ascension. So an upcoming update to Returnal will add both a co-op mode and a new area, a huge tower that you have to work your way up floor by floor. Thoughts?
I wonder what a co-op Returnal looks like, because I think that would be so much better.
That's what it looks like.
But if one person dies, is it game over?
Yeah, you need like revive respawn sort of.
Yeah, stuff. Like you get in an arcade where you have to put more coins in because your mate's died. But like, what does that look like?
Jumanji, I'll give you one of my little.
Yeah. But what does it look? I mean, Returnal is apparently one of the hardest games that there is out there. So a lot of people enjoyed it. I don't think many people finished it. So will 2-player help that burden? Will it be twice as difficult, like on Borderlands, where the the levels scale up because you've got somebody else that's a higher level than you. Like, what does that game look like? But I mean, if you are a massive Returnal fan and you know somebody who is as well, you can now join up and be able to play it. I think that'll be a good time.
It looks phenomenal. Like, looking at how good the game looks, this takes essentially the idea of the hack and slashy sort of stuff with the Souls. Like, fuck, it's super difficult and you're gonna die.
It's like a bullet hell. Do you remember them ones where it used to be like a flying ship? It's a scroller, so you have your ship and it goes up, shoot 'em up, bullet hell kind of thing. That's what that is, but just in a 3D environment, like
Rezo Gunny kind of thing.
Yeah.
So good game. Another one that doesn't speak to me, but people like Timeless, who already liked Returnal, he was excited about it last night. So that's good for him. See, this is more my kind of jam. So Ghostwire Tokyo. So Tango's action adventure set in Tokyo. We called this being in the show as well yesterday, by the way, or the day before. Set in Tokyo with a healthy side order of supernatural stuff. Is out on March the 22nd. Ahead of that date, we got a launch trailer. See, it looks like, there you go. I was about to say it looks like a complete mindfuck, and just as I did that, some weird mouth thing on the screen. Yeah. This is more my sort of stuff. Less of the hack and slash, a bit more of the story. Can still be like mind bending.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first thing I've seen that I'm thinking. I mean, look how good it looks as well. I'm thinking I want to play it. Ironically, the first game in the PlayStation State of Play that I'm interested in is owned by Xbox.
Yeah, but I mean, graphically and the style is fantastic. I still don't think it's a game that I would like to play. It isn't speaking to me. I mean, that's just fucked up. Whatever that thing is, and
that's kind of the thing. I remember watching this at E3 2019 in the Bethesda conference. Sat there just looking at it, thinking, this looks fucking weird, but it almost looks like the bits that I was seeing then. I was thinking of like it was giving me like the ring.
Yeah, a proper old school Japanese horror.
Yeah. So I was like, do you know what? I'll give it a try. This one I didn't expect to see.
We actually ruled this out completely, didn't we?
Because it was delayed by 5 months. But Forspoken, another game we already knew about for better and worse, got a new gameplay focused trailer showing a lot of jumping and more combat. Skip in, see if we can see some actual gameplay stuff. Because this one, when I was talking about JRPGs and the fact that it's someone from the future going back to the past, effectively, might tie me in a little bit. I mean, it looks fucking good. It almost looks like Kena Bridge of Spirits in terms of its prettiness.
360. Let's crank it up. I don't think my laptop can do 4K, so let's jump back a second.
We can only output a 1080 anyway. Yeah. So.
It does look the surroundings and everything look beautiful.
Yeah.
This is much more me. This is the hashtag. One out of the this is a hashtag BB game. If there was to choose one game out of the conference, it probably would be this one. It looks great. Did you not think it looks a bit Horizon?
Yeah. Especially those big wolf things that keep popping up. They almost look like if you make that a bit more mechanical, then it's Horizon Forbidden West. So yeah. The character design, like the face quality, that it looks class.
That has to be a it's not voice actress. Mocap.
Full scan mocap, yeah.
It has to be.
100%, I reckon it will be. So that looks decent. Next up, we had Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. This game is out soon, so here's a trailer showcase with the game out on both PS4 and PS5 on March the 18th. Final Fantasy stuff. Lots of it. Nice. Next up, after that, Gundam Evolution. So this free-to-play multiplayer shooter set in the Gundam universe was actually announced last year for PC, but this westernized trailer shows that it's also coming to the PS4 and PS5 later this year. I don't know. I can't talk about Gundam apart from the robots that look like they have penises. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I think they look like I think Gundams look like B-Tech Transformers. If I'm being honest. I mean, that's probably going to offend a lot of people who love Gundam, but this for me, it just looks like another shooter. If I didn't know what a Gundam was, then
you take it, the Gundam's almost irrelevant to the gameplay. It's Titanfall, but not Titanfall. It's Call of Duty, but not Call of Duty. It's a shooter with a different skin.
Do you know what look better than this?
What?
That game that we saw the other week that was in Roblox. That Roblox first-person shooter.
Yeah.
That actually looks better than this.
Viral for being phenomenally beautiful.
Yeah.
Which is just a mini game in another game, and this is a full game, and it doesn't look as good.
Yeah.
Damn. So after Gundam Evolution, one that we had to pretend to not know anything about. We actually did know about this one ahead of time, but this is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Cowabunga Collection, which I am actually incredibly happy to
Heroes
see.
in a Half Shell.
So full disclosure, we do work with Konami, so we are saying positive things about this. I just want to let you know that we work with Konami. We aren't saying positive things because we work with Konami. We're saying positive things because we are fans of side-scroller beat-em-ups. You might have seen us play Streets of Rage 4 and stuff, which is not a Konami game.
It's a time gone by.
Yeah, I fucking loved. I mean, I was a massive Turtles fan anyway. I've got a turtle on my desk, well, in the box next to my desk, turtle at home, and David could tell you I was a massive Turtles fan. This just looks fucking awesome.
Yeah.
If you're not into side scrollers and old school games, Turtles, then this is probably a little bit lost on you. But if you are, nice, coming 2022. Anyway, the collection includes 13 Turtles games from 8-bit and 16-bit console releases to handheld games to arcade classics, and will be out later in 2022. The full list of games includes the list is there. I won't go through them all, but you can see arcade, NES, SNES, Sega Genesis or Mega Drive, Game Boy as well. So games from all of those. In addition to PlayStation releases, it'll also be out on Xbox, PC, and Switch as well, and with physical boxes as well, if that's your thing.
Yeah, if you was a gamer in the 80s or 90s, then you definitely 110% would have played at least one Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, and it's a product of its time. If it passed you by, like I said, probably not that interested in it. But I did see a lot of people who I follow on social media yesterday actually praising this because, again, people that say a very similar age to us who would have been playing this sort of stuff in the arcades that would have spunked stupid amount of money on the most difficult arcade games of all time.
How much have you put? You could have bought it for that.
But it's one of those things. So yeah, I'm excited for this one. It's definitely a game that I will actually be playing.
It's funny because I was on stream last night and Timeless came into the stream and started talking about Turtles, and I was like, "Where did you see that? Where have you seen this news? What? There's a Turtles game? Where did you see it? Give me a link or something at Timeless." And I think he might have gone by that point because I wanted to make sure it had been announced and it wasn't rumor. So I was like, "I don't know. What are you talking about?" So I left it. I just didn't touch it until I knew that the state of play stuff had finished and it was out in the airwaves.
Adds his rumor of Konami being bought by PlayStation obviously came true in this conference as well. So whatever your source was, ads terrible.
Nailed it. Oh wait, no, didn't. Exactly the opposite. Next up, Giga Bash. This is as close to a new War of the Monsters game as I think we are ever going to get.
Ooh.
I think I'm going to pass.
Yeah, come here. In fact, I think we've seen this before, and you said you actually like the look of it. I am fairly certain we've seen this at like a Gamescom or whatever conference one of the 25 different conferences that we covered last year. I'm fairly certain that you said that actually looked like a good game. I think it was with Asim and Ben on the same one.
I'm not convinced because this just looks fucking terrible to me. Maybe it was something similar, or maybe they didn't give gameplay because I wouldn't play that. That's not me. That's not me. I don't know. Maybe I was in some sort of mindset because I wouldn't be playing that. I'm not gonna play that. That's fact. I would not play that game. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R. This isn't actually a new game as it was first released back in 2013 on the PS3, but it's a massively updated version of it, cleaned up for no hardware and with 50 playable characters instead of the previous 32. Just a 3D sort of like stylistically designed. It almost looks like what was there was a game like Bushido Blade or something like that where you could just kill someone with one hit because it was meant to be like realistic. Like you could get some damage and like you had a health bar. I don't think you had a health bar. You could hurt them, but say if I just got one, like UFC, I get a clean headshot, you're down. It was like that sort of thing, but it was ugly because it was old, and that's what that looks like. So it's a 2013 game. It looks like it. That's a pass from me. Trek to Yomi, coming in the spring, and not just on PlayStation. Here's a Steam page. This moody side-scroller looks Japanese as hell, but it's actually being developed by Leonard Menciari from Riot Civil Unrest and Shadow Warrior Studio Flying Hog.
This is 110% a...
Sure.
Yes. Shogun Ash game. Absolutely. Stinks of it. It looks great. Let's see if we can... is this on 360? Ooh. Got a 1080-60 going, baby.
Yeah, this looks nice. This looks nice. Big fan of this. Like, side-scrolling is such an old way of playing games, but it's just I know he's in the chat, but it's timeless. It's like they showed different ways of playing the side scrolling. There was like a side scrolling moving bit, then there was a traditional pulled back sort. This looks beautiful. This looks beautiful. Yes, please.
Interesting.
Nice. Okay, moving ahead. Well, that we're done. That's it. Nice.
We're not moving ahead.
Okay, so for me in that conference, I'm looking forward to Trek to Yomi and Gigabash. Clearly, no, not Gigabash. Trek to Yomi, Turtles, and then we got the more obvious headliners, the Ghostwires and the Forspokens. Yeah. So I think
4 games, not bad. Not bad. Out of a conference that I genuinely had zero expectations for, because Japanese games, albeit you can have Resident Evil is lumped into that because obviously it's made by Capcom, but traditionally they're usually like an RPG, and it's just a little bit too bizarre for me to get my head into, as per some of the games that we've seen here. But 4 games out of that conference that you're coming away and go, shit, can't wait to play those. That's a big thumbs up for me.
Yeah, I think it shows that I'm not a Japanese-centric sort of gamer, though, because out of the 4 games in there, they were probably the least Japanese games out of a lot of them.
Yes.
So yeah, there we go. Good state of play for me to get 4 games that I would play out of a conference that's just clearly not engineered towards me. I mean, Turtles is made by a Japanese company, but is very retro/westernized. Then Ghostwire Tokyo is obviously based in Tokyo, but very westernized with its stylistic. I mean, obviously, we said it looks like The Ring and stuff like that, which obviously massive Japanese vibes, but still very western. The rest of it's same. So yeah.
Exo Primal. Big fat no.
I don't think I will. I think I'm busy on that day.
Yes, I'm washing my hair.
Yes, I'm washing his hair.
Washing my beard.
Yeah. That's the biggest shame for me, is Capcom coming in with a brand new IP that features dinosaurs. Or not even brand new IP, a brand new title. Something that they haven't done recently. It's not just a Resident Evil rehash. It's something nice with dinosaurs. You're thinking, Dino Crisis, and it's just Dino crap. It's Dino crap. Nope. Ain't no time for that. Ain't no time for that.
So we are 120 in here. Shall we? Because that Microsoft one, I really, really want to dig into that one, and I think that could be a big juicy topic. Shall we save that one for tomorrow?
Yeah, I think so. I think we can quickly fly through the Gotham one and then finish with the PUBG one.
Fine by me. Let's do it. Which one do you want to go first?
Let's go with the Gotham Knights one.
Yeah. This is one that we don't have a talking point for on the screen.
Yeah. We're gonna fly past it anyway. Oh, no, I've just gone back to the same picture. Nice, great news. Okay, this one written by Sean Murray at the Gamer says Gotham Knights. Actually, it's written by Josh Coulson at the Game. I had the wrong article on. Gotham Knights to launch in October 2022. Great, this is going great. This last article. Let's just flick back to our own faces and look at something else. So yeah, Gotham Knights will be here before the end of the year. We did talk about this earlier on in the week, so we're just going to fly past this. This is just an FYI/update. So a lot of people consider 2021 to be something of a quiet year on the video games front. An ongoing pandemic forcing developers to work from home and thus pushing back a number of release dates across the industry will do that. A number of games that were supposed to be here by the end of 2021 were pushed back into 2022, hence the first few months of this year being so busy. That pace looks set to continue with games like God of War Ragnarok and perhaps even Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League potentially on the docket. While both of those titles could potentially be pushed back again and become 2023 releases, we now know that won't be the case with the Gotham Knights, at least not for right now. The Batman-based game now has a release date, and it is very much going to be here in 2022. As confirmed by the official Twitter account for the game, Gotham Knights is currently slated to be here by October 25th, 2022. Again, that is, of course, subject to change, but for right now, we can assume that we will be playing the new co-op game from the creators of Arkham Origins in time for this year's holiday season.
Yeah! Interesting, considering this was meant to be coming out in the next 4 weeks originally. But technically, you could say it might have been pushed back a little bit.
Yeah,
but,
just I mean, we were looking at that like, could it be out in the next month?
Yeah.
Probably not. Probably not, no.
But we know it's potentially going to be this year now. They've got a date set in stone. Again, subject to change. Something may happen. But I think it's probably best that they actually moved it back, considering how many games have been coming out over the last month and will continue to do for the next month. I think they're probably best off pushing it back just to give it a half decent chance at being able to sell quite a few copies and for people to enjoy it.
Just reading the rest of the spiel, it says the reveal of Gotham Knights release date is likely not coincidental. Odds are your Twitter timelines are currently a healthy mix of Elden Ring takes, and yes, people letting you know what they thought of the Batman, despite Gotham Knights taking place in Batman's universe. The creators of the game, blah, blah, blah. Basically, they're saying they're tying it into the Batman, which I kind of think, yeah, all right. However, I disagree with that. I don't think that's quite right. Who was it? Sean Murray? Josh Coulson, this one. Sean Murray's the next one. Josh Coulson, I don't agree with that sentiment there. I feel if they wanted to tie it into the Batman, they would have had it already. Like we said, have a trailer pre-rolling before the film goes or something like that. This feels like, oh shit, we should have done something for the Batman.
Yeah. Or the fact that our timelines was flooded with this is potentially going to be coming out within the next 4 months, and someone's going, let's get in front of this because it's not coming out within the next 4 months. There'll be a lot of disappointed people because it was coincidentally 2 days ago that happened. And now, yesterday, 24 hours later, we've now got a confirmed date of when it's likely to be. So I think that's probably more to do with it.
I mean, we have visuals. We know what the game looks like. There was a trailer that came out initially. Just popping that down to a 5-10 second sizzle reel with a October 25th, 2022, is Batman dead? That kind of sort of stuff, like, in a world where Batman no longer lives. That sort of shit. They could have just had that in, but they didn't. So this is a fuck, we need to do stuff kind of feel for me. So yeah, GG's better than nothing. Nothing. Timeless says Turtles and Trek to Yomi. This looks pretty awesome and a timeless game. I'm assuming that's still talking about Trek to Yomi. It's the way to play games. Side scrolling is fucking awesome. It is. It's not how I would choose to play my games. I always say that I'm very future orientated. I want the best games. I want to play the best system. I want to play it in 8K, 16K, 46K, fucking whatever. Raymond tracing all over the place. But when I sit down and jump into a side-scrolling game, it's spicy meatballs.
Absolutely.
Tita says, boo! Sorry, fanboys avoiding Microsoft's success. Yeah, it's because it doesn't happen very often. We thought we'd give it its own show. Yeah. Like, Sony... Just another state of play where they announce wall-to-wall bangers, mate. So.
We will put your Microsoft article in second place tomorrow, which they currently are in the console wars for tomorrow's show. Fantastic. I'm only playing Tito.
Yeah, for anyone that's dropping in, we aren't Microsoft PlayStation fanboys, by the way. We are more PlayStation aligned, if we're being honest, but we are very, very much open to Xbox consoles. Nice. Okay, final news article. Do you know what? Let's just zoom back into us on the same camera again.
Why not?
Okay, final news article. This one is written by Sean Murray at the game.
Remix.
Remix. So Dataminers find Nier skins in PUBG. Who wouldn't want to see 2B with a machine gun? Sean Murray has this. So much like Fortnite, PUBG Battlegrounds is a battle royale that's no stranger to a good crossover. And a new Dataman suggests that those crossovers aren't ending anytime soon. Player IGN is a well-known PUBG leaker who's just posted several screenshots confirming what appears to be a Nier crossover. This crossover will contain new player skins, sprays, and cosmetics modelled after Nier characters, including 9S, 2B, Kane, Nier, and Emil. According to the Dataman, the Nier crossover will arrive on April the 1st in PUBG. April Fool's Day, nice. Not sure if Nier quite compares to PUBG's other April Fool's Day crossovers, which, as PC Games N have noted, included the likes of Baby Shark. Nier seems downright tame in comparison. Take a look at the images above to get a load of 2B and 9S in their PUBG form, which looks pretty much the same as their Nier Automata form. Automata, is it? Whatever.
I'd say Automata, but I'm not very cultured.
Yeah, pass. Nier Automato. You say Automata? Tomato. Nice. Okay. Below you'll find Kane and Nier, who are likewise looking stellar in their PUBG costumes. PUBG isn't stopping at just Nier. PUBG mobile crossover stuff. Nice. Okay. This is nice. Oh, actually, let's go back to that because you put it back on the screen. This is nice to see. Something I feel like I've said a lot throughout this stream. Not for me. I will not be buying these skins. I have never played Nier or Tomato, and I don't particularly plan to. I do get a little bit of joy seeing that PUBG has started to get some crossovers within its console game. PC game, because it mentions PUBG Mobile at the end of that. They've got a Warframe crossover. PUBG Mobile just crosses over with everything and does it well. PUBG, main game, we got Suicide Squad at the very beginning, and then I'm going to say weird shit. I won't say weird. Shit that's not for a Western audience.
Yeah.
It was very ethnocentric, is a word that I've used already in this stream, but it was, I used it upstairs in a conversation actually. It's very ethnocentric, stuff that applies to the developers. Korean content creators, Korean music groups, Korean sports stars. Cacao Land was a takeover in Vikende from Dinoland because it's a Korean sweet / cosmetic / internet sensation thing. None of it's relevant to us. Nier, on the other hand, is a game that a lot of people will have probably heard of. Just doesn't speak to me. So I'm not happy for myself, but I'm happy in the fact that we are seeing crossovers being taken a bit more seriously in PUBG. Now bring us some good widespread content that's not just ethnocentric on the Asian audience, because we've got NA and European players too. So yeah, spread it wide. So good news, not for me.
Yeah.
Fuck this shit, I'm out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Lotus, thank you very much for the host as well a little bit ago, Lotus. Love you.
Sure.
Timeless says, such a PlayStation fanboy thing to say. What is Timeless? Stop being a PlayStation fanboy. God damn, Timeless. I don't.
Out of order.
Honestly, we've got Xbox players in here too.
Try to have a very balanced conversation. You come in and you ruin it.
It's despicable, honestly. Meant to be a very good game. What, PUBG? Yeah, it is. It's all right, mate. Nier. I've heard the people that I've heard play it have said it's a good game. I just know it's not a me game.
These are going to sell like mad though. These
Yeah.
are going to absolutely like. There's a lot of people like. I say never watched it or anything like that. But did you? It got spread far and wide. I think I actually shared it actually. Like the most searched for video game and protagonists on Pornhub and stuff like that. Like she was one of them.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
Oh,
So I
okay.
imagine that's going to make them a hell of a lot of money.
I know nothing about Nier.
Well, I'm guessing I think she's in the tag that says, "Wouldn't you want to see 2B with a machine gun?" I don't think that's him. I assume that's her.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, she 2B was like one of the most searched for things, along with like Jill Valentine.
I'd buy the dude's hair because I could then make him into like Geralt or Ruyé kind of thing.
Yep.
That's
what you do
about as
with
far
that.
as I'd go. But then again, there was an esports skin for the PUBG Global Series or something, PGC, PUBG Global Championship, and that had like some sort of long hair with one bit of hair that comes down the face.
Yeah.
And that could have been Geralt if you turned it to white skins, but yeah.
Very careful about what I'm googling here. 2B, boy or girl? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I imagine these are going to sell like absolute hotcakes from the horny anime guys.
Yeah, Bibby's full on got dodgy porn videos on the stream, so we're not going to cut back to his laptop anytime soon. Nice.
Oh, not my bag, Graham. Not my bag.
That's your not PlayStation fanboys. I don't know what you mean, Timeless. So he's basically saying we're not PlayStation fanboys.
I mean, wholeheartedly agree.
He's saying he is.
Absolutely, I agree. Again.
I agree again. We agree, Timeless. You are the PlayStation fanboy. I absolutely get it. Yeah. Lotus Sus. Being violated orally by my dental hygienist.
Ooh,
I bet,
he went to go sort. He's getting his tooth sorted.
I bet you got violated in other ways as well by the dentist's accountants. Fuckers. Fuckers.
Well, yeah.
I'll violate you too. You must have enjoyed it, Lotus. You paid them to do it. Yeah, he's a freaky dicky. Freaky dicky. Nice. Okay, on that bombshell, we are going to finish things up. Let me give you a little bit of a reminder. We spoke about the fact that EA has a penalty saved, according to Tom Phillips. EA's €10 million Dutch FIFA loot box fine has been overturned. We then went through everything that was shown in PlayStation State of Play last night, and at least 4 titles was good for me, which is not bad from a 20-minute conference to go through. For a lot for me to not be interested and still find 4. Good efforts. Microsoft, by the way, if you are watching, because we know you are. Sorry, Big Philly Spence. Yeah, you can do quite a lot in 20 minutes. You don't need to stick random trebuchets and stuff into your conferences just so we can confirm this. Nice. Honestly, Tyler, stop being PlayStation fanboyish. God. We then ditched the fact that Microsoft has some pretty awesome games, and then jumped instead to talk about Gotham Knights being released this year and Nier Automata Chameleon skins coming out at some point on PUBG 2. April 1st, April Fools, we will see. Dear Lord, twisting my words. What about you being...
PlayStation fanboy?
What is he trying to say? He's an Xbox fanboy now or something? Do you want us to call you an Xbox fanboy or a PlayStation fanboy? Which
Either
one?
or.
Which one are you?
Either or.
I mean, we know you discriminate against half of the audience, then basically. But we need to know which way. That's all.
Out of order.
Sorry, touching you.
No, you're on my side. You're on my side, on my crease.
Look, your side. I've got this nubbin.
What do you mean? I've got all these Corsair headsets in the way.
I've got fucking.
Yeah, to be fair, you.
God damn. I mean, there's plenty of room.
That absolutely is. We could literally roll to the other side if we needed to, but. Okay.
So yeah, PS Scrubs. Thank you very much for joining us for another episode of the group.
Just T-posing.
You were
just T-posing, ragdolled across the room.
Grab an ice cream pillow each and have fun.
Excuse me.
There's a WWE inspired title belt over there. We do not just condone violence at all. Not today. Not today. If you want to see more of that, you will have to stick around. We will do some. Maybe not pillow fights. That's
we end up bursting this.
That's for the ICU after hours streams. Me and Bibi. Stop it! No, you stop.
Belt shot, bagger. Only stands. That's us.
Only stands. Goddamn right. Okay, we are going to finish things up. Appreciate anyone that stuck around. Thank you for everyone that got involved in the hype train earlier on as well. We do appreciate the support like that. As mentioned earlier, we have a Twitter thread / posts across our other social media channels as well. You're doing something. Just either in my ear. We have a Twitter thread going out later on that shows you where the revenue from your subs, your donos, your bits, any way you support the channel, where that revenue goes. We have a lot of upgrades that have been purchased and that are just there. Off cam. You guys can't see it, just there. There is tons of it. We will show you what we are going to be doing to the studio. Well, no, we'll show you what's going to be going into the studio starting next Tuesday. I had the confirmation just as the stream started. You're fucking still licking the cushions. Weirdo. He's a fucking weirdo. So yeah, confirmation. Next Tuesday's stream will not be happening because that's when the build of the new studio setup takes place. So no stream next Tuesday. We'll probably have one on Wednesday and probably won't have one on Thursday next week because the build does start. So we will show you what shit we have got to go in it, and it's some good shit.
Good shit.
Goddamn right. Goddamn right. So we are going to disappear. Stick around. Mm-hmm. We will drop a raid on one of our friends. We'll see if there's someone on. We can go show them some love. We can give them a bit of support whilst getting you a few extra channel points to spend for yourselves. But before that happens, Mr. Weird Man.
Yes.
Is there any weirdness you would like to weird?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Thank you very much for joining us for the 4th episode of The Scoop this week. If you want to help shape the final show of the week tomorrow, there's 2 ways that you can do so. First of all, find us on social media as Pirate then puts the socials in the chat. Bang on! All you need to do is give us a URL plus your thoughts and opinions. I've lost my train of thought, but if you want to help shape a show, 2 ways. Find us on social media, find us on Discord. All you need to do, if you're watching this on any of our on-demand services, go to the description below. All the information you require will be listed there, but just put it all in the Discord, thoughts and opinions. With our thoughts and opinions on the very next show, which will be what time tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day?
10 a.m.
Ish.
Just getting the championship belt because we can. Reminders that we do have a championship belt. WWE 2K is out right now. We have copies. We have plans to make content. Feel free to stick around for that. Yeah. We're not playing that today.
But I will send you over to someone who is.
Oof.
You see what I did there?
Woohoo! Nice. Oh, crispy as well.
That was crisp.
Oh, nice. Thank you. We appreciate you all for being here. Have yourselves a beautiful day. You're all beautiful people. Until next time, what have they got to do, Bib?
You've got to stay frosty.